standing listening to that rousing national anthem of France just before the All Blacks do the haka. Let's go sideline. Tony Johnson and TJ. Overhead beautiful, but just a little bit of a breeze blowing.
Yeah, blowing right to left as you look at it on screen, Nisbo, but everything else perfect. Atmosphere unbelievable.
Right, the French are going to face the anthem from halfway. Sorry, the haka. As per usual, the French show the haka great respect. And even this is, though it's one of the noisiest stadiums anywhere you'll go, the haka was done pure silence.
It was indeed, but look at the face on Richie McCaw. Isn't he ready to play tonight? That's a great sign for New Zealand. If you're a supporter of the All Blacks, to see that man up for a game, you've got to be excited. This is going to be a fascinating encounter. I've just had my attention grabbed to my right, Nisbo, an old adversary of mine, Fabien Gaultier, is doing commentary for a French network, and he's got a smile on his face. I'm wondering whether it's one of confidence or one of nervousness.
Maybe a bit of both, who knows? Well, the French stood their ground. So the final test match of the season for the All Blacks, about to get underway here at Stade Velodrome in Marseille. Alain Roland of Ireland, the man with the great French name, but he's from Ireland, is tonight's referee.
Nigel, time on please. Okay, we're good to go.
And away we go. In Marseille, the kickoff is made. Calling for it is Richie McCaw, and he almost got away from his opposite number, Ouedraogo. But the All Blacks have it under control inside their 22 with Jimmy Cowan. Plenty of time and space for Dan Carter to unleash his first kick straight down to Damien Trey. And this big, tall fullback brings it back strongly. 15 out from the 22. And France are going to use the ball immediately as it goes to Chabal. Got the pass from Savard, the hooker. And the French, so far, showing a willingness to move the ball across. Now reaching in is halfback Dupuis. The All Blacks are well aware that in the first 10 minutes they're going to be hit with everything, as Tranduk tried to deliver the pass. Nice tackle though, they got in there and it was knocked on by the French, and bringing it away is David Marty, but it was knocked on. A couple of All Blacks in strongly. Andrew Hall was one of them, and they'll go to the first scrum. Jerome Kano was there too, and well, Dan Carter, but it was Kano who made the tackle. He's in this game for his physical presence.
Yes, he is, and it was a good defensive start from the All Blacks. Francois Tranduk, he likes to take the ball on a sort of out-arcing angle and try to manipulate the defence, hold the pass up for runners coming off him, and he's deceptively very quick and often slips through that gap and defenders speed.
Just a little delay here. There's some tension for Tom Donnelly. Bit of ice applied around the neck area. Maybe just feeling a little numb in the arm after that early onslaught. But what a surprise. France didn't kick.
No, fullback Damien Trey brought it back now. The first scrum. France are pretty good in scrums. Man on this side. Loose head prop. Fabien Barcella playing just his 11th test match.
And he felt the full force of Namir Tialata then, Nisbo.
Don't go too fast away from my call. Okay.
What a
There's
strong
your mark.
end to the season for Tialata. Lost his way midway through the season, no question about that. He's the first to acknowledge it. But he's big, back, big, bright, and much better. Now, pretty good from France. Back it comes. Oh, penalty. And they're pretty fired up in the front row, the French. Marconnet in his 79th test. Look at them, the two props. They really enjoyed that.
It's more like Nantes, that sort of thing, banging the heads.
I'll deem if he pushes him out or if he pushes him and then he goes.
Well, there's any number of goal kickers in this French team as we go back and have a look at this scrum. And they've got the All Blacks for standing up in the front row. Well, the test of the French scrum will come when they have to put the ball in. That seems to be the way it is, Justin.
Yes, it does, Nisbo. It's a good start from the French front row. The emotion there you could quite evidently see on your television screens. I feel like they've already got the hand in the scrum. New Zealand will need to make sure they're very solid in this area tonight.
Julian Dupuis, the halfback. Or as they say in France, halfback. First kick. So France have the early lead by 3 points to 0. Now the All Blacks an opportunity to get into French territory as the kickoff is made by Carter. Chabal goes early, took it down nicely as well.
Back, push back.
Had all the ball so far. As Dupuis waits. He's going to kick by the looks of things himself. Tialata comes at him. Now waiting for this is Corey Jane. Safe as always under the high ball. Carter swings it wide now. Mully trying to create a little bit of space, and they are doing so too. Here's Conrad Smith gliding into the gap and getting through. Good run here from Conrad Smith. 15 from the 22 as the All Blacks get their first feel of the ball. Now it goes to across to Donnelly. And good spot tackling on Tom Donnelly, but he's laid it back nicely, so the ball is still available for Cowan. Now Muliaina looking to step past a couple of forwards, but they converge. Now it's a Brad Thorpe playing his 13th test match of the season. Cowan knocked it back. Donnelly quickly across to Corey Jane, but they're going sideways at the moment, and it's
bit of continuity for New Zealand. They got the ball in hand. It was a good counter-attack. They found the width outside. An excellent run from Conrad Smith. But William Servat in midfield really cut New Zealand down, and then they're on the back foot trying to attack France coming forward.
taken near the back by Dusatois from now Dupuis just on the All Black side of halfway. Number 8 forward is Julien Bonaire, and the French hitting hard but not releasing the ball. Now it's just in All Black territory. Dan Carter though, I think the breeze might be against him.
He's copped one in the ribs maybe. He was actually the guy that got over the ball there and did some good work and helped win that penalty. Too far into this breeze for a kick. It's a bit stronger than it looks.
Just over 6 minutes gone in the game. 3-0 France lead. Ball goes deep. Nicely taken by Kano. Straight ahead, just a couple of metres short. All Blacks looking for quick ball. They'll be desperate to get it too. France will be trying to slow it down. The French have got plenty of players back. Ball is there. Now it's being released. All Blacks though on the back foot. Still got an opportunity though. Cowan looking to this near side. Now maybe changing his mind as the All Blacks congregate to the left. Tialata makes an early run. Now Sivivatu, and he gets through. Sylvie Vatu scores the opening try of the Test match.
Here we see the finishing part of this move. Look at the speed of Sylvie Vatu. He gets it almost standing still. He looks like he's at a canter, and then he just accelerates onto the ball, and he leaves, I think it's Marty possibly there for dead, and he's just absolutely gone. He shows the ball to the outside, and he's just too quick. I think it's Vincent Clerc, and he's no slouch either. Just shows the speed of Sylvie Vatu. People that underestimate how quick he can go from a standing start or just getting the ball jogging like that will be left behind, as Vincent Clerc was there.
First real opportunity the All Blacks have had, and they've converted it into a try. And what might that mean in the long term? The French, if they get behind, can drop their heads a bit, so it will be interesting. So Carter's first kick at goal for the night, bringing it round beautifully on the breeze. Carter converts, and the All Blacks lead by 7-3.
The thing the All Blacks were working on during the week at training was creating space, even in tight situations, and really the lead-up work was done when they put Martin Nonu into the hole, and that's what gave them the forward momentum. Okay, a couple of slightly untidy breakdowns, but the try resulted.
Tom Donnelly lines up the kickoff. Big confidence booster for the All Blacks. They know they can crack the defence. As Cowan boots it off downfield, Bonaire waits back just on his own side of halfway, delivers the pass. Damien Trey straight into the tackle of Martin Nonu.
There it is!
And the All Blacks have turned it over. Andrew Hall rips it out. Donnelly now gives it to Kano. Drops it on the ground. Clever kick. Corey Jane coming after it, but it's been snapped up by Maxime Médard. And France looking maybe to counter-attack. Vincent Clerc out on the 10-metre line. And France not committing too many to the ruck, but they've got enough there. And this game could have opened right up. This is looking very interesting. The French having a bit of a go now as Servat, the hooker, takes it 5 metres from halfway. Dupuis to Tranduk, looking to create some space. Slips it to Damien Trey. And France really are moving the ball here. Servat goes straight ahead, straight into Thorne. But they're making good. And now here's a go right through the middle. Goes Yannick Josian. Now he needs some support. Still standing, Josian gets it away to Ouedraogo. And France are only 6 metres away. Dupuis. Off it goes to Tranduk. Quick hands required here. All Blacks coming back. Desperate defence. Vincent Clerc. Remember, they've taken this from inside their own half, and here they come again. Staunch defence required here now by the All Blacks. And on the French side. Pass slip to Servat again. Very hard to stop in this sort of move, the French. They haven't got a back line at all here. They're just going to try and shunt it through the middle. Doing a pretty good job of it. Goal line, as you can see, just 7 metres away. Taken in by Dusatois. Slow ball.
No, stay back.
Still not really an aligned back line. So you'd be surprised, unless they go for a drop kick. Tranduk is standing deep enough to have a go. Yes, he is. It's horrible, though. It's a great pass. He knocked it off.
That might just be testament there to the All Black defence. They held them out, and there was nothing really on for the French. A great start to the game.
Brilliant break by Josian. You see here, his skill is offloading. Quadrago does really well. You see him here, he's so strong in the upper body. Even though he's got 3 players around him, the one-handed offload, soft hands to Quadrago, he frees the ball, and then, even if we don't see the replay, there's some divine intervention from Richie McCaw. He was lazy running back, and the ball that was spun right from the French, as we see that the missed opportunity for a drop goal, hit Richie McCaw just on the back of his shoulder and probably prevented France from scoring a try.
So nearly 12 minutes gone. It's been all action. Forget about the kicking in this game. Black scrum under real pressure again. And that might have gone through 90. Let's see what Alan Roland says. Jimmy Gowan still has the ball, so All Blacks get another go with it. So this is a formidable French scrum. Much emphasis on the 5.
Touch, pause again. Hold it. Wait. Wait. Okay. La.
TLR just having a word there with the referee. Marseille, man, Biarritz up against TLR. Oh, he goes straight up. Yeah, penalty had to be. Pushing straight up. And he really only had one option, the referee.
Plenty intensities in the scrum tonight, Nisbo. Both New Zealand, one Tialata and one of the props already sporting a bit of claret. We see the French row just standing up, front row just standing up there.
Well, he's going to have to be strong, the referee. The scrums are going to be vital as Hawth finds Kieran Reid. Now Carter moves it on to Thorne. McCaw, the Thorne pass. Clear goes to Cowan, looking wide for Sivivatu, just about got away but not quite. Good French defence on that occasion, 10 below All Black territory. Work the blind side, puts Kieran Reid into a bit of a gap. Now they're in French territory, looking for quick ball once again, but they're not going to get it. Now the referee's blown the whistle here, and I think he wants to have a chat.
Can't join a ruck dangerously like that, okay? He didn't even make an attempt to move a player away. The ball was this side and he went over the far side. Okay, you want to be take somebody away. Don't do that again.
Penalty goes against the All Blacks. And Maxime Medard, who played at fullback in New Zealand, so versatile individual, scored a try at Carisbrook in that opening test of the season.
As we see a big tackle from Thierry Dussator. We all know that he can defend. He's a very, very competent tackler, key member of their back row. And Chabal gets a hold of Sivivatu this time.
Sivar throws. Oh, that's a terrible throw, but it's against the All Blacks. So there must have been interference in the line. And it's going to be a shot at goal. Yeah, Brad Thorne jumping across.
It's a lovely line-out drill from New Zealand from earlier on. That wasn't what resulted in the penalty just now. I think there was a hand on the French jumpers player from a New Zealand jumper or prop, which has resulted in the penalty to Dupree. Very competent goal kicker, Dupree. France are very blessed in the number 9 position with great goal kickers. Morgan Power on the bench is also very competent as well. They're very, very lucky in that position.
No problems at all for Julien Dupuis. So goals by the French, and the All Blacks lead by 7 points to 6. But the real feature of this game has been the willingness of both teams to move it around, which has been something we haven't seen much of in international rugby this season. That's out on the full. Cleverly done by Dupuis. So Carter makes a mistake, and they have to go back to halfway. where I would imagine the French will ask for a scrum.
But absolutely right, Nisbo. What a great start to this game. And the atmosphere was electric before the game, but the rugby is living up to the expectation, and the crowd have been able to keep quiet because the game's been free-flowing and exciting. Brilliant stuff.
Well, when the attitude from both teams is good, you do get a good game of footy at this level.
Well, Nisbo, the IRB are having a meeting in the next day or so, and there's been a lot of calls for them to do something about the way the game's being played. It's almost as if these two teams have decided they can't wait for that meeting and have decided to do something about it tonight. The signs are really promising, aren't they?
Yep, it is refreshing to see. Now France not looking too flash when they had to put the ball in. We mentioned that earlier. The team putting the ball in is the team that struggles. So let's have a look again, because I think Dupuy will get to put it in again, but it gives the All Blacks an opportunity to show their scrum prowess.
There's too much pressure before the ball, after the ball. You see the one side or the other side driving each other out. Okay, if you want to compete for the ball, you've got to drive this way, not out. Okay, there's too much from both sides. Vous avez compris, hein? Il y a trop comme ça, pas comme ça. Okay, here's your mark. Time on, Nigel.
Fluent in French, Mr.
Just coming in over here.
Mr. Roland. Basically what he's indicating is that the pressure from the scrums is so intense that anybody who's pushing in is going to pop the front rows up, so they need to try and stay square for as long as possible.
Touch, pause, engage.
Much better from the French. Bonaire off the back. Can't get away from Kano. Now he's got the All Blacks detaching early, I presume.
Number 6 offside.
Yeah, it's against Jerome Kano. And this will be a shot at goal from right on halfway.
I mentioned earlier that France have got endless number of players who could kick goals.
You've got to get up there straight away.
Dupuy being one. Josian's
you've
another. Damien Trey is another. So it goes on, but just at the moment, the little halfback.
Yeah, well, I had a walk out there, Nisbo, before the game. Conditions certainly are favouring France in terms of the wind, but also as we see the replay of the scrum, the front rows, they're going hard at it, and Kano's off early. It's just bound by one arm. Can't do that. You've got to have your shoulder attached to the scrum. But it is a football field, and I do feel that this is well within the distance of Dupuy, especially with the slight breeze behind him.
It's reasonably open sort of a ground, this, even though there are 60-odd thousand in attendance. It's not like Twickenham with its high grandstands. So Dupuy from 50 metres, distance no problem. And off.
Fantastic camera angle there as we see the ball drift in, and the reaction from Dupuy. I think that might be before he kicked it. He'd be breathing a bigger sigh of relief when it hits that crossbar, and they can fall either way. It falls in. 3 points for France.
They lead by 9 points to 7. Carter down to Dussetois, and captain running into Kano.
Stay there.
Dupuy waiting to see who is going to receive it. Tranduk. And charging it was Cowan, and a chance for Jimmy Cowan. Oh dear. Almost made it 2 in 2 weeks. The bounce of the ball beat him, but Tranduk left it so long, and Jimmy Cowan almost came up with another try.
Yes, it just eludes him here. Just bounces away to his right as we were looking at it. Excellent pressure from Cowan though. Van Broek is standing quite deep, so there is the opportunity to charge him down.
Kick-off. Corey Jane moves it across for Carter. A midfield bomb from Dan Carter. Trey coming forward, took it comfortably. All Blacks not putting too much pressure on there, and France have it with Dupuy. Very slow though. Andrew Hall making it as difficult as possible. Now Dupuy. Tranduk looks on the outside, then gives it away to David Marty. The centre three-quarter tried to get on the outside of Conrad Smith, wasn't able to do so. Now Dupuy again. Here is Sivar, who's been prominent in the opening 21 minutes of this game. Dupuy again goes flat to Ouedraogo, the open side flanker. All Black defence holding up nicely though. Now it's to Josion. Tranduk. Nono has to hang on to Vincent Clerc. And the All Blacks making their first up tackles. Blindside Tranduk to Chabal. But there's plenty of white jerseys there. And France fancy their chances of getting it again. Dupuis. Savard. First receiver. Runs straight at Tony Woodcock. He rides him to the ground, but a good strong run again by the hooker. Now the little kick through, but it's easily read by Cowan. Feeds it off to Muliaina. The All Blacks fancy a counter-attack here. Conrad Smith again glides into the gap. Off goes Sivivatu using good speed. Sivivatu's got some support. Gives it off to Muliaina. And the fullback is in his 82nd Test match.
What an absolutely magical try from New Zealand. Well, it didn't look like they had a lot on, but Jimmy Cowan read the kick very well, and it just shows the ambition of the New Zealand backs tonight. Every opportunity they tried to capitalise on. They spun the ball wide here. It was beautiful pace from Sivivatu. Lovely ball from Smith. Sivivatu gets outside his man. Muliai in on the inside. And what a great try. Really vintage New Zealand back play. Excellent to see, Tony.
Well, it was Muliai who sparked it. He called for the ball from Jimmy Cowan. He got it right where he wanted it. He summed up the opportunity. He threw a brilliant pass, and then he backed up after that searing run by Sivivatu. This is wonderful stuff. We're in for a great Test match.
Well, Mills Muliaina really came back to form. He'd been a bit flat for a while, came back to form at Twickenham last week, and he's carried on that form tonight. His 25th Test match try, and the All Blacks, who've been struggling for tries on this tour, suddenly have produced a couple of classics in the first 22 minutes.
You've got to love that head-on view we saw as well, just there on the replay of Sivivatu coming at the last defender, Damien Trey. He just held the ball out as if he was going to kick it, and that gave the momentum to push through the line. And at his pace, you can't afford to hang off him, and it created the opportunity for Mills. Brilliant.
So Dan Carter looking to convert. Didn't bring it around at all. So an unconverted try, a beauty from Mills Muliaina, and the All Blacks lead by 12 points to 9. So the kickoff lost by the All Blacks, recovered though by Cowan. And
Got an accidental offside in his boat.
Strange decision was from the referee, but looks like it's a knock on by the All Blacks.
Accidental offside. I think Andrew Hoare trying to tidy up, ran into one of his own players, so that's untidy after such a good try.
Now the French, they'll be dangerous here because they've been prepared to have a go. Blindside winger is in, fullback is in. Everybody's in. Scrum solid. Dupuis away for Tranduk. Straight across to Vincent Clerc. All Blacks looking to cover it. They do, and they cover it well. Muliaina it is again. Well, a bit wasted.
Set play, well-timed kick. Just wasn't far enough forward. I think the accuracy was good in terms of where it needed to be in that 5-metre channel by the touchline, but Muliaina was able to cover it because it just wasn't deep enough. Read it well. Well shut down, New Zealand.
25 minutes gone. Thorne delivers. Cowan kicks. Vincent Clerc takes it beautifully. Now Trey. Nice pass. Maxime Médard. 10 out from the 22. Dupuis. Trying to step his way through was Dusatois. Ball pops out again. Now David Martin. Chased down by Conrad Smith, who had stayed over in defence. Dupuis goes again. Now it's Josion. Tranduk. Good tackle by Kieran Reid. It had to be made. Not over yet though. Wedrago French coming at the All Blacks, using the ball. Sevar again. Dupuis, Tranduk. All Blacks look good in defence though. They've got numbers every time. Now Dupuis slips the pass to Marty. And they're still 18 metres out and not releasing. Defence holds again.
Yeah, I think he's got the big lock, Milowski here, Nisbo. He went cleaning over the top. That fella there in 5. But both teams are looking for quick ball at the breakdown too, which is another encouraging sign. French are pretty accurate in that phase of play. It looks like Ouedraogo's getting some treatment at the moment. There's been some blood spilt too already.
Well, it looks like he may have a contact lens dropped out. He took it into contact there. So play continues. Andrew Hoare to throw to this shortened line out. 27 minutes gone in the game. Donnelly off the top, looking for Carter to get himself into a gap. Now it's been snapped up again by Cow. Nice flat pass goes to Reid. Up the middle goes Reid. Looking for some support. Just didn't quite have it for the moment. Now it's Cowan away for Nonu. Nonu probing. Still probing. Gets the pass into Conrad Smith. The All Blacks looking dangerous every time. Trying to get the ball back. They're only 17, 18 metres out and they get the penalty. Carter is already the All Blacks' highest ever scorer against the French. Took over from Andrew Mertens earlier in this match with that conversion. This time he slips it inside that right-hand upright. Penalty goal by Dan Carter. All Blacks out to a 15-9 lead.
You can see that ball bending in the breeze, Nisbo. It's growing all the time. The All Blacks, I think, are going to have a handy advantage in the second half of this test.
Tranduk restarts. Thorne goes high, tips it to McCaw. And the All Black captain makes a couple of metres. Now Cowan. Off it goes to Carter. Carter looking to offload it. Does so to Donnelly. Good support from the big lock. Here goes Smith. Just on the French side of halfway. This is a high-speed match. Not a lot of kicking going on. Now they go wide to Reid. Tried to fire it back in field, but the flag goes up. And in fact, it looks like it's a knock-on. All Black ball to the scrum.
Yeah, he just gets pushed out here, Reid. He tried to get the ball back in, but it's obviously been knocked on there somewhere. I don't know what both teams are talking to each other about during the week, but they've certainly come out both with an attacking mindset. There's not been a lot of kicking in this game so far, and it's made for an exciting game.
Touch, pause, engage.
So Jimmy Cowan, ever improving All Black scrum. Here's Carter. He's going to go with a flat kick. In fact, he snaps it right through the middle. Beautiful bounce for Nonu. Now can he go all the way? Just ran away from Conrad Smith, who goes in there. Now the All Blacks keep it going. Carter fires it off. Reid's in the gap. And Kieran Reid slips the pass. Oh, it's been knocked on. Tom Donnelly couldn't hold it.
He's got to carry back here. I think, no, knock on, sorry, as you were in this boat. Boy, what a move.
Oh, I thought Kieran Reid was going to break his duck in his 16th test. Hasn't got a try as yet. He was odds on here. But a nice tackle, Tom Donnelly. And it was just a stray hand in there. Who knows, Donnelly may not have even got a hand on that.
Desatoire came across and prevented the try from being scored, but brilliant build-up by New Zealand. Carter looked like he's going to do the cross kick and just popped it in behind. Nonu was following through, but New Zealand now, they want to get some parity here in the scrum. They probably want to put France under pressure, create a turnover if they can.
Just having a look at the replay, Nisbo, I think the All Blacks are a little bit unlucky they didn't get the scrum feed.
Yes, I'm not sure that Tom Donnelly got his hand on that ball, but nevertheless, there's still an opportunity to put pressure on the scrum. France have got a player down though, so we'll have to wait. But
I've
boy,
told him to take
what
the pressure on the hip, okay?
32 minutes we've had.
Yeah, no, I've asked them. When the hit
The
comes
attitude
on,
from
take
both
the pressure on
sides
the
is,
hip, okay? And when it's
let's
there
try
for
and
you, I'm
score
asking you to do the
tries.
same
Boy,
thing,
that is
okay?
refreshing.
Time back on, Nige. Crouch! Touch, pause, engage. 7
All Blacks going hard at the French scrum. Ball loose. Chance of a try. Yes! Try given. Jerome Kano. Well, the big All Black scrum, and now the pats on the head and the backs of the All Black front row. And the French are somewhat stunned as the third try is scored. This one by Jerome Kano.
See the replay here, not entirely sure where the ball is. I think they tried to pick it up at the back. It's bouncing around. Oh, and did Kano gather that? Did he knock it on? Did it come off his leg? Probably needs to be slowed down. Alain Roland was right there. He didn't want to go upstairs. There's a kick there from Dupree. And it looks like Kano's just dragged it across with his leg over the line and placed his hand on it.
Yeah, I think he had it trapped between his legs, didn't he? Between his knees, Justin. Then all he had to do was push it down. Boy, some great jubilation on the All Black bench at that one. But the man who just sat there with a quiet smile on his face was Mike Trom, the guru. Didn't take long to sort things out by the look of it.
Well, the French were so pumped up after that first scrum, but sooner or later they had to put the ball in, and you've seen what happened. Here's Carter's conversion, guided through. 22 points to 9. Good lead now for the All Blacks. 3 tries to 0. Kickoff is made. About 6 minutes out from half time. Now Carter. Bang down the centre. Trey calls. He's got Bonnier, the number 8, with him. Let's not forget the All Black defence. It's been put under a fair bit of pressure in this game, but it's held so far. Josion slings it wide. Here's a gliding run from Tranduk. Taken down by Smith. All Blacks in after it, but they can't secure it. Now Seva, who's been used as a one-off runner a lot so far in the game.
Off your feet, stay!
Dupuis digs it out for Josion. Now Chabal ranging wide, going hard at Corey Jane and Andrew Hoare. But they get him down. Another one-off runner, Dousa Toir, but the All Blacks pounce on him. Tackling has been outstanding. Back now, drop kick, is it, from Tranduk? And, yep.
Not an easy drop goal either. He's sort of on the angle, but he strikes it so well. It sails right between the middle of the post. He turned his back pretty much straight away. Bang! Hits it well, follows through, and look at it soar.
I guess the French just felt they needed something just to stem the tide a little there.
Carter's kickoff. Chabal again. He's been good from the kickouts. 22 points to 12. 5 minutes remaining. The high kick. Carter going back. Nicely taken. Slings it off to Muliaina. They've been good down that left wing side. That's where they've been attacking the French. Low pass goes from McCaw to Nonu. Lost his footing, but they should be able to recover this as the ball's slung away to Carter. Again, he drops the little kick, and Vincent Clerc coming across, chased by Sivivadu, but he got it off the tray, but Sivivadu got him as well. Now the French looking to counter-attack. Vincent Clerc, well, in fact it was Midar, the left winger. Now the kick through by Trey. Muliaina, all right, might drift into touch. It does. Nicely weighted kick. All Blacks throw it quickly. Smith back to Muliaina, and away goes the fullback, stepping beautifully. And he got his pass off to Donnelly. Now McCaw looking for someone to his right, couldn't find him. And so the All Blacks attacking from their own goal line. Carter, there's some wide open spaces here, and he's exploited it beautifully. Well, that's the confidence the All Blacks have the quick throw in way back a metre from their own line.
This is we see Trunduk is down. He's taken a bit of a knock, but he's back on his feet. But great counter punch from New Zealand. It was very well read by Damien Trey. He put it into the corner, but New Zealand attacked down the flank with Muliaina, and Carter read the play very well to put the French back under pressure in their own half.
A worried looking Marc Levremont as the whistle goes. They've got a bit of thinking to do at half time, the French.
I've spoken to about getting it in, but you stay down until it's ill. Please.
They've met an All Black team that is well fired up for this game. Savard throws again. Bonaire pulls it in, but they're inside their own 22 with 3 minutes remaining until half time. Dupuis for Trey, and the big tall fullback gets it away into touch. Try scoring has been a real problem for the All Blacks this year. 13 test matches, 20 tries. 3 already in this game. Kano, they push it back into the middle of the line now. Good clever move. Now Hoare takes it up towards the 22. Now Brad Thorne. When the half-time whistle blows, Brad Thorne will have played 1,000 minutes of test rugby this year. Good defence by the French. Now it's hacked away downfield, but it's in touch. Just a minute and a half left. Tony Woodcock. Now the whistle is gone.
Millie, scrum call, please.
So it's French ball again, Justin. The All Blacks will target this, I'm sure.
Yeah, so what do they do now, Nisbo? So close to half time, but yet behind on the scoreboard. Are we going to see them open up?
France get it back. The kick is coming. Muliaina, another outstanding match from him. Takes it inside the 22, gives it off to Sivivatu. Right through the middle goes Jane. Places the ball on the ground. Muliaina. Continuity has been outstanding. Sivivatu. Cowan. Now it goes to Carter, looking for the inside channel for Nonu. Almost to the halfway line with Nonu. Pops back so quickly. Now Muliaina again. Confident enough to come up into the line. Cowan looks to the left. Carter sends it off to Sivivatu. Stepping. Chabal has to make a tackle. Good tackle by Wadrako. And the All Blacks have lost one in contact. Now Vincent Clair has a go on the outside. France with the ball. Can they do something with it? No, they're not going to do, because it's been knocked on. And referee Roland says that'll do it in the first half. And boy, what a 40 minutes of rugby we've had. Both sides have contributed, no doubt about that. But it's been the All Blacks with their 3 tries who have taken a 22 points to 12 lead to the break. Trying to finish the international season on a high note. And if they can win here tonight, 10 wins from 14 test matches. Long way to go yet, though, as Dan Carter gets the second half underway here in Marseille. Chabal waits and takes it down. 3 tries to 0 in that first half. But France have made a contribution to the match, although they haven't been able to crack the All Black defence as yet. Good forward drive to get them going. Dupuis waits and kicks as Kano goes flying at him. Corey Jane, who is outstanding under the high ball, takes it off, and away goes Carter right on the 10-metre line, and the All Blacks have it straight away. Muliaina doesn't kick very often. Smith gets a rebound. Now a kick made by Vincent Clare, and he's kicked it out on the full. So it's a bit messy. All Blacks largely have taken this crowd out of the equation, which is a big plus.
There's your mark. Super clean? Yes. Hey, White, come up. Out!
Jerome Kano right at the back of the line.
Sanka! Okay.
All Blacks for the full complement. Four throws. Goes to Kano. And a good drive by the number 6. Now Cowan for Carter. Nonu looking to step his way through. Good support there for him as they bring it back this near side for Richie McCaw. And the All Black captain right in the centre of the park. Now Carter delaying the pass, trying to get away, but Ray Drago makes a good tackle, the open side flanker. All Blacks though are there quickly enough as Cowan works it across to Sivivatu. He gets the pass back, nice work. Now Reid, who's had a storming game in the number 8 jersey. Sivivatu across to Smith, chance for Jane. Corey Jane down the right wing side, held up in the final tackle. Now Smith tried to get it back. It's been tipped again. The All Blacks playing it with Tranduk in general play, has grabbed the pass and saved the day, and now it's been hacked away downfield by Maxime Medar. And Conrad Smith, who doesn't kick very often, he's going to be forced to here. And he gets nailed. Whether it's late or not remains to be seen.
Understand.
Not called late, so now the French counter-attack through Damien Trey, the fullback. Dupuis. Tranduk works it across. Here's a good run from Marti. Then he lost control of, lost contact with his left winger. And the French bringing the same attitude to the second half. Sevar tries to lay it back, but it's on the All Black side. They're too good at the breakdown. Cowan sees the opportunity to kick it away into no man's land. And if it doesn't get to the line, it's going to be a useful kick. And it doesn't. And Clare has to do, in fact it's Medar, has to put it into touch, but long periods of sustained play from both teams.
There's a turnover from New Zealand. Timely little hand in there just to push the ball back. See the earlier pace of Corey Jane and the handoff. It's very deceptively strong, and they keep the ball alive, New Zealand. Look at this push in the face, and away you go. He accelerates through. Never pleasant to get one there.
4 minutes gone, second half. They go short to Thorne. And the All Black line out working a treat. France with a counter ruck though. Good stuff from the Tricolours as it comes finally to Cowan. Now it's with Carter. Delayed the pass off for Nonu. Nonu looking to get on the outside, can't do so. Good tackle by David Marti, and the All Blacks don't release. Conrad Smith not happy about something he saw there.
All Blacks just got caught going a little lateral then, maybe for the first time tonight. Good defence from France.
Talked about the workload Brad Thorne has had. Nonu similarly. 13th test match for him this season as well, out of 14.
He's carried well in his bow, and he's hit some good angles tonight too. Good to see him running onto the ball. Really suits the way that he plays. Adds that extra dimension to the New Zealand backline.
Willem Savard taken down by Drago. Carter misses a tackle. Now here goes Clare. Clare gets it off to Marti. Chance out on the left wing side for Medar. And France hoe into this. Remember, the All Blacks haven't conceded a try in the Northern Hemisphere for a couple of seasons. Not in a test match. And France have been close on occasions. And a rare missed tackle by Daniel Carter.
Yeah, again, I think if we see the replay, it was usually on He's so strong. He hit the line. He had 2 tacklers on him. He managed to free the arms and set the French away on an attacking movement that's resulted in them being 5 metres out with their feet to the scrum. If they're going to get themselves back into the game, they need to capitalise on these breaks and the position that they've got. There's a picture of Jujion, so strong in the offload.
They are big men in midfield. And of course you've got the big, tall, strong fullback as well. They get a penalty. So a bit of a discussion as to what they're going to do. And 22-12 early in the second half. It's a shot at goal.
Got to stay in there, okay? No, the front row has got to stay in. It can't be breaking away if they're going forward. Stay in the scrum. Yeah.
He's got the All Blacks here for detaching. And I think probably Richie McCaw was a bit early.
Here we see the break. Look at Jujion here. He's got his own style, Jujion, as he frees Vincent Clerc. Marty does very well, but the All Blacks scramble to shut it down. But Jujion, if I go back to my point, what he does do is he takes the ball to the line and he hits the contact first, then he frees the arms. Some players go into the contact and look to have their arms available first, but he likes to take the contact. He's so strong up top that he can then get his arms free. He's a real danger when he runs like that.
Julien Dupuis, 3 penalties already tonight. The crowd groans. So that is a rare miss.
It was a difficult kick, Nesbo, because the wind not quite blowing down the ground. There's actually a tunnel across the far side, a big wide tunnel, and I think there's a fair draft coming through there, which wouldn't have helped. Change for France at hooker. Coming on in 16, Dimitri Zardzuski, and he replaces William Servat, who made a couple of good runs in the first half.
Well, early change by Marc Livremont. We're only 8 minutes into the second half, and a change at hooker already. Carter from the 22. Tranduk waits back. Now Chabal gets a chance to get a bit of steam up. Carries the ball pretty high. All Blacks will be happy about that. And it's a real struggle to get this one back.
Well, people in New Zealand be familiar with an old prop from not so long ago, Bull Allen. Every time he got the ball, there's a massive roar. Well, it's the same for this icon. The caveman, they call him here in France or in the UK. And every time he touches the ball, there's a roar, a sort of deep groan that goes out from the crowd. Look at this. Kaino lines him up. He drops that left shoulder. Bang, contact there. Kaino does well, but he's a real hero here, and he really lifts the crowd and lifts the players around him, does Chabal.
Meantime, there's been a scrum penalty against the All Blacks, this time against...
On the impact, he's got to stay up. He went straight in and down, and that's what caused the thing to go down. He's got to have something pushing it. Fine, and if he has, I'll deem if that is the case or not.
Just heard the words there of the referee against Tony Woodcock.
France turning down the opportunity to kick for goal. Again, maybe a bit too far in this breeze. So Damien Trey has kicked it out on the 22.
Richie McCaw implying from that scrum that maybe the French were pulling away, giving them nothing, the New Zealanders nothing to hit on. They need to get it right though, it's costing them the scrums at the moment, they're being penalised heavily. Zarzuski's first throw then. As he lobs it in, I threw it straight to Donnelly. All Blacks will be happy about that. Carter can clear it away downfield. Trey going back, waiting for a favourable bounce, but it's beautifully done. He might try and throw it quickly, as he does. And the kick, the clearing kick, made by Vincent Clerc. The All Blacks are going to take it quickly as well. And now Carter.
Out.
The game being played at good speed. Trey. Oh, he's missed it. Here's an opportunity. Donnelly. Great chance here for the All Blacks. In control with Andrew Hoare. Now he fires it off to Tony Woodcock. And the loose head prop is inside the 22. The All Blacks can get themselves organised now. Well, they get a penalty. Jimmy Cowan tempted, but decides to hold on. 3 points will be precious if they can get them. And I'm sure that Dan Carter will step forward.
Yeah, Codrego might have been unlucky there. It looked like he was over the ball on his feet initially.
First points of the second half as Dan Carter raises the flags, brings up 100 points against France and takes it out to 25 points to 12.
And another change in the French front row. Nicolas Mas from Perpignan. He's coming on, and also coming on at 18, Lionel Nallet. Sebastien Chabal leaves the field, along with the tight head prop Sylvain Marconnet, who's again had trouble getting through much more than 50 minutes against the All Blacks.
France kicks off. McCaw lining this up. Gets the pass off to Carter. And another towering punt downfield by Dan Carter. Here comes the attempted counter-attack by France as Trey slips the pass to Claire. And an All Black hand came in there. I think that was fairly obvious. And France take it up through Mas, replacement player. Now Dusatois. All Blacks having to defend. The impasse to Ouedraogo. Slipping off at the tackle this time was Reed. It's not really going anywhere. He's still playing advantage. Dupuis, and he's taken it. And not from the mark, apparently.
It's a new penalty, this one against Richie McCaw.
You also play the ball over here. There was already a ruck, okay? So that's 2 infringements.
Second of 2 penalty infringements, both of them conceded by McCaw. And this one's a lot more straightforward for Dupuis.
In Richie McCaw's mind, TJ, they wouldn't have been penalties. He's not an illegal player. Typical flanker, never makes a mistake.
Gee, that's Rich coming from a halfback, isn't it, Nisbo?
Isn't it just?
You see Richie McCaw there, he does hit the ruck on the side. He's come on from a legal angle, and that's the resulting penalty. Kieran Reid goes in strong. Ouedraogo gets rid of him. It's a good carry. Resulted in the penalty.
Dupuis. Oh, he's pulled this too. Well, they have other options, and maybe 2 misses in the second half might be enough to hand the ball to somebody else. It's 25 points to 12, 14 minutes into the second half.
54-12, is that right?
And I think he knew fairly early on the breeze got it.
Thank you.
Atmosphere's a lot different from the test in 2000 when we were here at Nisbo, when it was just electric because France made such a great start. The All Blacks certainly have done a good job keeping them out of the game, the crowd.
Now the French bring it back. Waiting for this is Corey Jane. I don't think he's missed a high kick all tour. Now here's Carter opening up, puts the little kick in, looking to recover, does so, slips it to Muliaina, needs somebody else in support, finds Reed. Oh, McCaw's tripped over before he managed to get the ball. So the All Blacks are going to have another crack at it here. Maybe it's on the French side. Opportunity lost. Some Carter magic, almost sparking try number 4. France appear to have this, and fair bit of hefty work going on there from Nallet, but it was just a 2-man show. Unfortunately, they needed the third. It was Carter and Muliaina and nobody else.
You see Muliaina get the ball here, and Richie McCaw was on the inside of Dan Carter. And what happens to him as he gets the offload? Muliaina got the offload as McCaw, I think the inside pass possibly went to Donnelly, was it, Nisbo, and then Richie McCaw was back on the inside. He just fell at the time where if he had been managed to hold his feet, he probably would have scored.
Yes, it was another near thing for the French. Just get the feeling one more try would just about do it. France would have to give away kicking penalties. They'd have to throw everything at it.
Touch, pause, engage.
Dupuis, All Blacks again. There's no question that the team feeding the scrum is struggling.
Come around, White. Don't come around. Get that hand off the ground. Don't come around. You stay square.
They won't want to concede
There's your
anything
mark.
here now, France, if they are to stay in this game.
Crouch.
They want a good solid scrum, a clearance that doesn't put them under pressure, and the ability to stay in the game. New Zealand.
Touch. Pause, engage.
As we just watch the scrum go down again, New Zealand's mindset will be to put pressure on, keep pressure on France here in this area, and get points, really.
Don't go through the mark, okay? I told him to take the
Quite
hit.
shallow
Don't go
in
through the
goals
mark.
here. Tries
Mark.
waiting for the
Crouch.
pass. He's probably feeling just a little hemmed in there. Keeps looking at the dead ball line.
Touch, pause, engage. Stay on, stay.
Charging at him. Oh, just got the kick away.
That's the way to kick them into the wind, isn't it?
Yes, nice and low.
If you stay on the scrum, he's no need to
And
go
looks
there.
like another player warming up.
It's Morgan Parra about to come on, so we might see, well, we will see a change of scrum half and possibly a change of goal kicker as well if the French are to kick goals now at this stage of the game.
All Blacks win it at the front. Now McCaw.
Back.
Carter snapped it up, and the All Blacks in possession. Carter, at least Cowan, to Tialata, and the big man makes a couple of metres. Now it's Hoare. Another strong season from Andrew Hoare. Cowan goes flat for Kano. That's another good carry by Jerome Kano. Another strong match from him. Here's Andrew Hoare, second time in the movement. Happy to do all the hard work. Now Cowan. Carter almost got through. In fact, he's still going. Got it off. Just couldn't make the pass stick for a moment. Cowan had to recover, and the momentum lost. Here's Nonu going and playing at halfback. Taken in the tackle and not releasing.
Just got isolated. Carter's turning on another masterclass here tonight.
Neuf. Go placement, s'il vous plaît. Okay.
And here is the change at scrum half. After this kick, I think we'll see Dupree replaced by Parra. But yes, TJ Carter really has stepped up, particularly in the second half. We saw him offloading in the first half, giving the likes of Conrad Smith space and Muliaina on the outside, Sivivatu. Now that the French are worried about that, Carter's carrying the ball himself and is a threat, and there's nobody there. He's such a dangerous player.
So the change comes at halfback with 19 minutes gone in the second half. So Zuski goes hard at Tialata on the 10-metre line. Parra, Spranduk holding up in the breeze, and beautifully taken by Muliaina, who's making a very strong finish to the season. As Cowan delivers, Carter drops it onto the boot, straight to Clare. Not much else he can do but hoof it away downfield. Carter cruising back after this, and he thumps it hard. Taken by Trey, and away goes the fullback. Those long loping strides. Gets it off it to Josian. Nice spot tackle made by Smith. Doesn't miss too many tackles. As Parra, they work the blind side. France, they've hammered away at this All Black defence. It hasn't cracked as yet. Josian. Now they've got a bit of a lineup. But Sivivatu, what a tackle by him. Now Carter still going. Couldn't get it away to Sivivatu. Damian Trey has somehow picked himself up. He was in 3 or 4 pieces, but he's got together again. Now another spot tackle. What a beauty. This one came from Kieran Reid. They're coming from everywhere like missiles. And the French are going backwards at the rate of knots, and they're going to be forced to kick, and are quite happy to do so, I might say.
Wow. And look at the body language of the French as well. Picking themselves up the floor, a few hands on hips. New Zealand just climbing in. Look at this from Sivivatu. Boomfa. And then the offload from Carter, bang, look at that, he's come in, he's hit him hard, dislodged the ball, and Carter's skills here, look at this. Timely intercept though, however, from Marty.
Here's Jimmy Cowan. Off a good line out from Brad Thorne. Short pass from Reed goes to Woodcock. All Blacks playing with a lot of confidence. Standing over the ball is Kano. Just over the 22-metre line, the All Blacks again with about 19 minutes remaining. Carter's in the pocket. Drop kick coming up here from Dan Carter. And it's wobbly. Off the crossbar. And here comes the counter from the French. Well, Dan Carter doesn't try drop kicks very often. Here's Muliaina. Working blindside. Flat pass. Goes to Corey Jane. Puts the foot down. Jane still going. Kick and chase. All Blacks, they must score. And they do score. Corey Jane.
Look at this. He picks it up well, pushes him away, gives himself time to put the chip in. 3 players probably could have scored that try, but Jane deserved it. He created it. He got a bounce pass and picked it up. Brilliant individual try.
Well, what a season it's been for Corey Jane. And this just caps it for him. And the All Blacks have scored their 4th try.
Guys, about 5 metres behind me in the grandstand is a good Wellington man, Alan Hewson. I just turned around, he's got a grin from ear to ear. That's the sort of try he liked to score in his boat.
Well, Corey Jane just a little bit further up the valley in Upper Hunt. Alan Hewson, of course, from Petone, but this is a brilliant individual try.
You've got to like as well the fact that he uses the fend with the right arm. He's got the ball in the arm that's on the touchline so that it doesn't dislodge, and then he buys himself time. It's so sensible, and it creates opportunities either with the offload on the inside, as we saw the chip ahead.
Well, another defection, and looks like Dusatoir, the captain's night, is coming to an end. Bringing on the replacement in jersey number 19. It's Julien Curacelli from Bayonne. Also coming on at 21, young David in the back line.
Well, this is starting to look a little bit like Lyon a few years ago, TJ. As the kickoff is made and it's into touch.
I was just thinking Paris because the whistling started. Drango, I beg your pardon, was the man who came off.
Still 17 minutes remaining, and young Owen Franks might get the call up shortly. In fact, as you can see, TJ, there's a couple of them lining up. Anthony Borich as well.
Yeah, it's just haven't got the numbers as to who's coming off, I imagine.
Touch, pause, engage.
Tialata may be coming off.
Now the All Blacks, Kieran Reid, he's got plenty of time, got the pass off to McCaw. All Blacks threatening to run right here. The French looking a bit deflated by this onslaught. All Blacks scoring 4 tries in a match for the first time this season as McCaw hands it off to Muliaina. France trying to attack at the ruck area, but there's so much confidence now in this All Black side. McCaw does a decent sort of a clean up. Now Woodcock. There it is. Well, it's not there yet for Jimmy Cowan. It's been taken in further by Hoare. Now here's Carter. The impasse goes to Donnelly. Boy, what a strong tour Tom Donnelly has had. Made his debut, remember, in the last Tri-Nations game, as the pass goes off to Nonu, looking to step his way through, places it on the deck. Now it's with Cowan. France are reduced to making tackles. That's all they can contribute at the moment. Here goes Hoare again. In fact, it was Tialata. Now Jimmy Cowan. Donnelly again looking to wade his way through a couple of tackles. They're only 15 metres short of the line here. Woodcock, nice tackle that time by Clare. In fact, he took the ball as well, but the flag is up. And this might be the chance, the opportunity for the All Blacks. No, they're going to carry on quickly. There's Nonu. It's a lovely pass off to Conrad Smith. Smith still going. Smith is only a metre short. Looks to deliver the pass. Might have held on a little bit too long. He didn't have any support, and all problems here. One of the French players has been laid out, and the referee very quickly on the spot. He'll have to start again from a scrum. But that strong charge by Conrad Smith very nearly took him to the line.
It did. He's so deceptively strong, Conrad Smith. We saw it early before the New Zealand got to the UK in Tokyo, where he scored that try, where he seemed to have players all around him. He pushed away, and a similar sort of a run here as he angled his way to the goalposts. Not quite sure who that's down for France here. Look at him go, ball in two hands. I think Para has copped the head blow from one of his other forwards. But you know, I've been thinking about Conrad Smith today, and there's plenty of speculation about how good Brian O'Driscoll is, but on the basis of this tour, Conrad Smith and the way he's come in, he's been absolutely excellent, both in attack and defence. He distributes well, he runs good lines, and he's very good with the ball in hand. He's such a good player and a vital cog for New Zealand now when he's on the field.
Oh, and Frank's warming up. The other thing too, Justin, is that I think he's the man that organises that All Black backline defence. He leads the line. He talks a lot to the other players. He and Carter constantly talking to each other. And I think he's an organiser, he's a leader, as well as all those other things you mentioned as the changes are made. Anthony Burridge on in 18, Owen Frank's on in 17, Tialata leaves the field, and Brad Thorne's long, hard season is over.
Well, a wonderful contribution from both players. We talked about Tialata earlier, how he started strongly, had a real trough in mid-season and has come back. There's Alan Hewson, who's been enjoying himself here tonight for sure, and Brad Thorne, who has played, as I said, over 1,000 minutes of Test rugby this year. As France look to spark something from their own goal line, they continue to make a contribution to this game, but it's not really on the scoreboard, as it's hacked away off the side of his boot and into touch.
Yes, that was Maxime Medard, who hasn't really been able to feature in this game. At least he was still just inside the 22, so he didn't have the mortification of going back to where he kicked it from.
All Blacks playing the game at pace as they go again. Now Nonu gets it off to Smith. Smith looking to get on the outside. Sivi Vatu, who started it all, got the pass back to Nonu, and he lays it back nicely for Cowan. Here's Owen Franks charging onto it. So the two replacement forwards in there and not releasing. So France get a penalty, a welcome one for them, inside their own 22 with 14 minutes remaining in the international test season for the All Blacks. And those three losses to the Springboks are probably a dim memory at the moment for Graham Henry, as the All Blacks look to get the Dave Gallagher trophy back.
Interesting the way the All Blacks prepared for this test match. They had a few problems with the surface that they were given. That meant they couldn't train on it on Monday. They had a bit of a run Tuesday. Then they took the day off on Wednesday, which some people might think is interesting when you're heading to such an important test. But they came back on Thursday and had a really good training session, which has set up this performance.
Sarzuski throws, and France in possession, just in All Black territory.
Okay, it's more.
Now they set up a drive. But the All Blacks with Hoare and McCaw leading the charge have got themselves a scrum. Well, they fragmented somewhat, the French. It looked good for a moment, but then the ball carrier got slightly isolated, and the All Blacks have got themselves a scrum. Well, now the game is pretty much safe and secure. The All Blacks, I'm sure, Justin, won't want to concede a try. It'll be 2 consecutive tours without conceding a try against an international team in the Northern Hemisphere. I think Munster got one, didn't they?
Yeah, Munster did, that's right, Disbo, but what a great record, and I'm sure they won't want to concede here.
Jimmy Cowan. Now Carter, another flat kick coming up. And Jane tips it off nicely. It falls at the boot of Smith. And knock-on has been called. Might have been a bit lucky there. Looked as though Corey Jane might have been a metre offside.
Yeah, he looked slightly in front. Well-timed kick from Carter though, and Jane almost did remarkably well to keep that ball in play and play Muliaina. I think it was following up on the inside, but you've got to think tactically now what France are going to be able to do to try and finish this game strongly. They haven't really threatened in the second half. The Jujion break is the only one that's really been significant. Are they going to look to go wide, or are they going to crash them up again? They really need to get some momentum because they're stilted at the moment.
Looks like Luke McAllister's going to get a run, warming up.
Totally agree with what you said, TJ. The All Blacks preparation this week, they look so energetic out there. They look enthused. They've been taking quick line-outs. They've been upping the tempo of the game. They just look like they've got a high energy rate for tonight's game. They look really enthusiastic about playing the game.
Stop going across the mark and stay there. Crouch. Touch, pause, engage.
Now France continue to try and get it through the back line. Right in centre field, but the All Black defence remains secure, and they might even fancy turning over. They have, as it's ripped away. Here's an opportunity for Kano. Gets it off to Corey Jane. It is again. And the man who's made a big contribution out on the right wing side makes a run. Now Carter slings it off to Nonu. He's got support from McCaw. Didn't throw the pass though. There it is once more. Taken by Boric. Blindside kick. McCaw there to make the tackle. 15 metres away from the line. All Blacks ahead by 32 points to 12. 10 minutes remaining, and Conrad Smith goes sailing in. Simple as that.
Oh, we've got a fight going on here, folks. It's a beauty too. And Tony Woodcock's just had his eyes poked. He's been gouged twice. This is filthy.
Well, there's all sorts of people involved.
I think this is the fella here. Tony Woodcock had twice fingers in his eyes.
And Richie McCaw looks really upset, and it's unlike him. His personality isn't to get involved in these sorts of things, but he's certainly aggravated about something. So we'll listen to the report coming to the referee from the touch judge.
Oh, Tony Woodcock's going to be called out. Maybe. Oh no, he's calling McCaw back. It all broke up on the sideline. Woodcock was involved as he was trying to get back into his feet. I think it was the replacement halfback who's come up and he's...
I don't know what started it. Je sais pas à quoi qui a commencé. Too many people, trop de personnes. Sifflet, whistle will come. C'est déjà fait, ok? On n'a pas beaucoup de temps qui reste. Prends le moment, take time now, talk to your team. S'il vous plaît, parle avec l'équipe. Si ça recommence, il y a une autre chose comme ça, quelqu'un va sortir. Vous comprenez? Understand? Anybody else does it again, they're gone. Okay? Take time while you have it. Parle avec eux.
Yeah, I don't know whether the cameras caught it, but as he was getting back to his feet, I think it was the replacement halfback came across and he clawed Woodcock in the face, not once but twice.
Well, it looks like Luke McAllister is on the park. So Dan Carter. Oh, that's a lovely kick. They do appreciate good kicking. All Black supporters, not many of them here, but they'll have enjoyed that. As Conrad Smith steals one down the blind side.
What a bizarre sequence of events. Everyone seems a bit bemused about what's been going on, but ultimately the key thing that happened was Conrad Smith ingeniously slipped down the blind side and scored a try. And we may hear more of what happened in the aftermath of that, but that came out of good build-up, good pressure from New Zealand. They constructed that try very well. You see, I think...
yeah, a lot of changes being made. That's Madar leaving the field for France to be replaced by Cedric Amon, but Dan Carter's off, Kieran Reid's off, Andrew Hoare's off, Donald's on, Latimer is on, and Flynn are on for the All Blacks.
So a good opportunity for Graham Henry to give some of his faithful reserve players an opportunity. Jimmy Cowan away for Andrew, at least for Donald, Stephen Donald. Here's Conrad Smith fresh from the try. They can't put him down. Now back again. McAllister slings it wide, waiting for the bouncer's Borich. He finally gets it. Now Jane, kick and chase. France back in possession, 8 metres on their own side of halfway. Now France. The All Blacks will still be conscious with 6 minutes to go about this record of not having conceded a try in a test in the last couple of seasons up here in the Northern Hemisphere. The high kick, Muliaina coming charging after it. He's there with Trey, Sarzuski, and France in possession on the All Black 10-metre line as Morgan Parra brings it out. Good driving defence by the All Blacks though. France going backwards. Still making no forward progress at all. Frank's in there to make the tackle. Now run up the middle by Sarzuski. Here's an opportunity for Nello. Dusatois. Oh, a timely intervention by Corey Jane. That saved the try, I would think. And here's Richie McCaw running it out from his home line. He had the opportunity to kick, but he thought no. Now McAllister stepping in as the first receiver. Slams the kick away downfield. He's struck it nicely too. No chance there for Amon.
I think he thought, no, I'm not going to risk it, Nisbo. He definitely shaped the kick, and it was off the left foot as well. He did very well to retain the ball in the finish. As you see the contest between Damien Trey and Muliaina.
Andy Ellis is going to get a run. Guys, Jimmy Cowan trots off. Andy Ellis, these will be his last minutes in an All Black jersey. Well, the white jersey of the All Blacks this year. He's heading home tomorrow. He's about to become a father. Warm applause for Jimmy Cowan.
Good performance tonight, Jimmy Cowan. He's been excellent. His work rate's been very high. Very good game.
So France throw in the last 5 minutes of this test match. All Blacks are going to be emphatic winners. 39-12 at the moment. There's Dusatois. Charges in. Again, the All Blacks, they're going to turn it over, and here's a chance. McAllister's got Sivivatu on his inside, and he's got Ellis. Sivivatu still going. Ploughs his way almost up to the line. Very close. A real contest to try and get this one back. And penalty goes to France.
Hello, there's a card coming up here, and it's a yellow card for Owen Franks. It's a bit ironical, this.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the replay, TJ, because I thought that the French number 14, Vincent Clerc, came in from the side, and it just looked like Owen Franks came in to try and remove who was ever there, restricting New Zealand's ball from coming back, because they definitely had a try-scoring opportunity. But maybe he came in illegally.
So the young prop goes to the bench. That'll be the end of that for him. And maybe Tialata will be pulled back for the next scrum or two if there are any.
Here's the ruck. And I think Owen Franks has already come in by that stage. Possibly from the side, which has cost him a yellow card.
Yeah,
maybe a bit of frustration as well.
Might have swung something in there, I think, by the look of it. Justin, Alan Roland was certainly on the spot to see it.
Here's a knock on by Dusatois. So they might have to get Tialata back now.
Here he comes.
It's a scrum, yeah.
I think, to be fair, Alain Roland, he was looking into the depths of it. He could see things were getting fractious. And he saw, I think, maybe just an elbow or an arm swinging in there, and he's pinged him for it, and he's gone.
Looks like Tom Donnelly is the player that has to come off.
Well, what a difference he's made too, Nisbo. Just an experienced player coming in. He seems to have helped settle down some of the problems that the All Blacks were having in line-out time mid-year.
And he's been great around the field as well. He's been in certain places to receive passes. His pressure on the defence has been good. He adds a great balance to this back row that New Zealand have.
Well, it's a pretty good 24 hours for New Zealand sport, isn't it, after that win by the cricketers against Pakistan. And the All Blacks cleaning up the French here in Marseille this evening, as France have one last shot at it. Gets across as far as Amon, out on the left wing side. Now Nele, but the All Black defence will attempt to hold for the next 2 minutes, and they concede another penalty.
Shame the end's just got a little bit niggly here, because it's been a great test match, a game that rugby really needed, guys.
Yep, absolutely. How's this for a stat, TJ? Wayne Smith. The All Blacks complete this win. It'll be his 100th win in the All Black camp, as a player, as a technical advisor, as a coach, and as an assistant coach. 100th win.
That's amazing. On a ground where he suffered a defeat the first time he came here. So that'll be very satisfying for him. I think he's waited a long time, probably, to avenge that defeat.
Now France, one last shot at it. Can they breach this All Black defence? They've been close enough tonight, but just haven't been able to complete it. They've still got the ball. Milochowski takes it into the setup. Down the blind side goes Nicholas Mas. Ball falls loose. In goes McCaw, rolling the player, trying to roll him the All Black way. Not able to do that. About half a minute left here at Marseille, as Pericelli takes it in for the French. All Blacks trying to hold them up here so they'll get the scrum put in. In fact, they've turned them, and it comes back for Andy Ellis, and away it goes. The kick made downfield by Stephen Donald. Yes, it is, and he's chasing hard, and it's been hacked into touch by Damien Trey. All Blacks, of course, have one further match to play. That's against the Barbarians, but the whistle is blown, and that is convincing. Handshakes all round, smiles all round as well, because the All Blacks have finished the season on a high note, started on a low note against the French in Dunedin. They didn't have Richie McCaw and Dan Carter for those first two French test matches. They were here tonight. They made a big contribution, and the All Blacks have won, and they've won convincingly by 39 points to 12.
Apart from the elation, Nisbo, of the win, what New Zealand must feel, and I guess us as spectators and people that love the game, must be so satisfied with what we've seen as a spectacle. The ambition from both teams, and obviously in particular New Zealand, as they've secured the win, to use the ball, to play rugby as we know it. It's been a really enjoyable game to watch, and I think it's what the game needed. There's been some average games out there in the autumn internationals, but this wasn't. It was a great performance from New Zealand and a really good spectacle for the game. Great to see New Zealand approach it this way, and they thoroughly deserved their win.
Well, they've worked hard to achieve it, that is for sure, and they've gone another Northern tour without conceding a try, and you would have thought if anyone was going to score a try, it would be the French, and sure, they went close, but the All Blacks defence has held again. And after leading 22-12 at half-time, they've come away 39-12 winners, 5 tries to 0. And boy, that is a satisfying result after what happened here 9 years ago. So 39 points to 12, final score.
I guess the other thing that we should touch on, you know, you've got to applaud the players for what they've done there out in the field, but you've also got to applaud the coaches. They've swapped roles and the team's looked efficient. Good on attack, and they've looked very good in the line out, and defensively excellent.
All right, let's go down sideline. Richie McCaw with TJ.
Yeah, and he's wearing a black jersey the way it should be. Richie, you must be stoked with that.
Oh mate, I'm extremely proud. It's been a hell of a trip, and the boys had everything to, had to dig really deep, but I'm just so proud of them.
We were saying this would define your season. The year started with a loss to France. You've come back all these months later in a place where France have only ever lost one test match before. I guess that shows you've made real progress this year.
Yeah, we have, and I think we've said for the last 4 weeks, we've been this close to putting a good performance together, and with the tries we took, we felt like we were on top of them for most of the game, and a couple of opportunities that could have made the score even more. But it was a tough match. But as I say, we've been working pretty hard, and it's nice to finish off that way.
We noticed during training during the week that you were working really hard on opening holes up. I mean, at a time when people are talking about the quality of rugby, the type of rugby, we're saying you went out there tonight to try and play open rugby.
Yeah, we did. I think we've been trying that for a while, but just haven't quite had the momentum. But I think it helps too that the French tried to play, and that creates opportunities on turnover, and the boys just want to use the ball, want to score tries, and I think you look at the smiles on the faces now. They really enjoyed the match. Mate,
I've just got to ask you a question about an incident earlier. We thought we saw Tony Woodcock getting a couple in the eye. You were very angry about that.
Yeah. I didn't actually see that, but there was a wee bit of niggle near the end. I guess that's their frustration, but it was a bit disappointing. But hey, I think as long as his eyes are still there, well, we're happy with the result.
Okay, and you put the All Black jersey on.
Yeah, well, I guess that's our colour, isn't it? The boys don't mind playing in white, but this is our colour. That's why we call it the All Blacks, so it's cool to put it on.
Well, you do have another game against the Barbarians, and we look forward to that. But this is a great way to end the Test program. Richie, congratulations.
Thanks, TJ. It's been awesome.
End-of-year tour was proudly brought to you by GJ Gardner Homes. Prime Sports, your passport to the All Blacks tour. First stop, Wales. Then Milan, Italy.
He's all class.
Followed by London, England.
Showing great pace.
On to Marseille, France.
How are you feeling in that for sure?
Then back to London. Barbarians, All Blacks, next Sunday. Prime.
They have the victory.
Brought to you by GJ Gardner Homes.
Tonight on Prime News, a further hui today. Just what's to become of embattled Māori Party MP Hone Harawira? He hasn't yet spoken to police as speculation mounts over the circumstances behind Tiger Woods' car crash. And how a global shortage of beer's core ingredient could affect the taste of the nation's favourite tipple. This is Prime News for Sunday, the 29th of November. Also tonight, the All Blacks saved their best for last, outclassing France in Marseille. And the Black Caps saved their best for last, winning the first test after a nail-biting final session.
This is Prime News. First at 5:30.
Kia ora, good evening. The political future of controversial Māori Party MP Hone Harawira remains up in the air despite a two-day hui to discuss the issue. The Titai Tokorau MP has been meeting with party officials and members of his electorate in Whangarei. It's the latest in a string of meetings centred on his unauthorised trip to Paris and his racially charged and expletive-laden email defending it. Mr Harawira has previously stated he wants to stay with the party, despite suggestions from the party leadership that he should become an independent MP. He was given 2 weeks to decide his future, but while time is up, a decision has again been put off, with the party president saying further talks are needed to allow a process of what he terms mana restoration.
To adopt the process, there was unanimous agreement on the process to be followed. And we began to implement that last night, and that will continue on Tuesday.
He denies speculation of a rift between the parliamentary wing and the party rank and file over whether Mr Harawira should quit.
on that next week to deal with remaining issues and come to agreement on how we will affirm the values behind the process.
Professor Winiata says a decision on the MP's future should be reached before the end of the week. There's a new twist in the mystery surrounding the car crash involving world golf #1 Tiger Woods. It's claimed the crash happened after Woods and his wife had been arguing at their Florida home over allegations he'd been having an affair. The golfer didn't come to the door of his mansion today when police arrived to question him about the accident and just how he received his injuries.
Until now, Tiger Woods, the golden boy of the golfing world, has had nothing but glowing coverage in the media. So allegations he may have been cheating on his wife were always going to make major headlines. This is the woman Rachel Yucatel, an American nightclub hostess, thought to have been at the centre of an argument between Woods and his wife Erin Nordegren. The fight is believed to be why Woods was leaving his home at 2:30 in the morning, in which he reversed into a fire hydrant before hitting a tree.
My two officers arrived at the scene and noticed Tiger Woods laying on the ground in front of his vehicle with his wife over him, rendering first aid.
Woods has only recently returned to the US after winning the Australian Masters in Melbourne. It's where the 33-year-old is alleged to have met up with Yucatel, seen here checking into Crown Casino where Woods was staying. But Miss Yucatel has responded to the rumours, denying she had an affair with Woods, claiming to have only met him twice. Woods' mother-in-law has reportedly told a tabloid website the issue is a private family matter. Florida police hope to question the golfing legend sometime today and say their inquiries are not about a domestic. Alcohol has already been ruled out as a factor, but it leaves more questions than answers as to how the golfing legend was left unconscious and bleeding from what seemed a minor crash. Jade Howell, Prime News.
Department of Labour officials will decide tomorrow whether the death of an Auckland girl crushed by a scrum machine warrants further investigation. Christina Mialamu, the 6-year-old niece of All Black Kevin Mialamu, was killed when the machine at Tamaki College fell on top of her. A 3-year-old boy was also injured. It's understood the girl and her family were taking part in a privately organised touch rugby competition on the school grounds. Department of Labour Health and Safety inspectors have spent today analysing the scene, trying to decide whether it qualifies as a workplace accident. Relatives of some of those killed in the Erebus disaster may soon get to set foot on the crash site. They helicoptered over the mountain on Friday, but high winds prevented them landing. Officials at Scott Base say the forecast for tomorrow may be more favourable. The relatives are on the ice as part of commemorations marking the 30th anniversary of the crash of an Air New Zealand DC-10 during a sightseeing flight. Russian officials have confirmed a bomb was responsible for yesterday's train disaster, which killed at least 26 people and injured almost 100. The high-speed express train was blown off the tracks about 350 kilometres north of Moscow. Detectives say the bomb was equivalent to about 7 kilograms of TNT and left a crater 1.5 meters deep. While no group has yet claimed responsibility for the attack, it's believed Chechen rebels were behind the blast. There's fresh hope. A new global climate pact could be reached soon after wealthy nations at the Commonwealth Summit in Trinidad offered to help poorer countries bear the costs of any agreement. UN Chief Ban Ki-moon says success is in sight and has a simple message for world leaders.
Stay focused, stay committed, and come to Copenhagen and seal a deal.
The 53-nation body is expected to issue a joint commitment today on tackling climate change. If you're a beer drinker and you've noticed a slight change in taste in your favourite pint or wondered why the price has gone up, well, we may have the answer. It could be because of a global shortage of hops, the flour that helps give beer its flavour. A few years ago, the hops market was flooded. Prices were so low, many growers were ripping out their crops. Now the pendulum has swung the other way, forcing some brewers to make changes.
Auckland brewer Luke Nicholas makes what he calls the hoppiest beer in New Zealand, with supposedly 3,000% more hops than other lagers. So for him, the global shortage of such a core ingredient really hits home. A kilo of hops, which once cost him $10 a kilo, is now worth $100.
It was pretty hard there for a while actually getting supply, and then when I did get supply, really had to pay for it dearly.
The high cost of hops has forced brewers to push up the price of beer and even led some producers to stop producing some of their hoppier brews.
The main driver is the big international brewers, the Anheuser-Busch's and the InBevs and so on. They have such huge resources that they can really break contracts that are existing and really dominate the market. In New Zealand, it's the small guys, the little craft brewers that might employ 1 or 2 people. They find it hard to get some of the hops that they've always used.
Hops are a central component of most beers. Their major purpose is flavour. Although brewers seem to be getting the number of hops they need, the shortage means they often can't get their first choice, which can alter the flavour of the final product.
Hops are very much like grapes. You grow them in different parts of the world, in different regions and different climates, and you get different results because they're an agricultural product. They're affected by the weather, they're affected by soil, and that affects the final sort of flavour and aroma components.
The price of beer looks set to increase in the near future, but there seems to be some hope on the horizon, with the price of hops starting to show some signs of easing. Todd Simmons, Prime News.
Ahead on Prime News, a stellar end to the year for the All Blacks with a commanding win over France, and Captain Richie McCaw is yet again IRB Player of the Year. And find out what 4-time world champ rower Mahi Drysdale won today on the Whanganui River.
It's time.
It's time to go.
Okay, we're going. Let me get my keys.
I can't do it.
Time for change.
I want to take you both with me to the promised land. You'll be sitting on velvet pillows showered with riches, rewards.
Time to dream.
What are you doing here? Am I dying?
And maybe to challenge.
This is Ebony. By Negroes, for Negroes. Space in these magazines?
This conversation is not worth having.
Brought to you by Draft FCB. Mad Men. Tonight, Prime.
Who is she? Tell me who she is.
Who is she? Tell me who she is stuff. That guy didn't say a word.
He's haunted by their voices.
Please just let me out of here.
Haunted by his past.
Why do you want me to not know where I came from? Because I care about you.
Go. Hide.
The Listener. Monday. Prime.
Best way to sharpen your skills is with Crazy Catch. For a totally sane or totally insane rebound. Whatever your sport, Crazy Catch will give you the edge.
Crazy Catch, the crazy way to sharpen your game.
How has Cindy Crawford managed to stay so young looking for so long?
Cindy looks amazing, and for 41, her skin looks great.
The secret is a rare melon discovered with super antioxidants that keep this melon youthful while an ordinary melon decays. The result is a skincare system called Meaningful Beauty. This complete skincare system is valued at $220, but it's yours for the incredible price of just $64.95 plus postage. You'll also receive a new supply every 3 months for the club price of just $64.95 per month plus postage and handling.
I get asked, what do I use? I use Meaningful Beauty, that's all I use.
Order now and receive Cindy's Décolleté Cream and the popular Glowing Serum, designed to give your skin an instant boost. Plus, you'll also receive this gorgeous purple jewelry box valued at $34.95. Together, that's $133 worth of gifts, free. Call 0800 668 525 or go to meaningfulbeauty.co.nz right now.
If you crash into someone else's car and you're not insured, you have to pay for it. But if you have third-party cover with AA Insurance, we'll cover it. It's easy to get and affordable. Get a quote online now at aainsurance.co.nz.
Right now, Mondo Travel has Western Australia on sale. From the Coral Coast Marine Sanctuary to the Margaret River's famous wine region, Western Australia literally has everything. Like 5 nights in Perth from only $19.29. Get a free upgrade to a Gold Sleeper on the Indian Pacific Rail journey and save $600 on this luxury coach tour. To really know a place is to experience it firsthand. That's why we've got an Australian expert in every store nationwide. Call 0800 955 866.
Wrap your laughing gear around Macca's new Chicken Bacon Deluxe. There's top quality chicken breast fillet, Swiss cheese and lettuce with funny names, all on a snazzy looking sourdough roll. The new M Selections range. It's a little bit fancy.
Now's the time to buy at Noel Leeming. Pay no deposit and no interest or repayments until May 2010. Plus, get a further 24 months interest free. That's 30 months interest free on all products $9.99 and over. Hurry, ends Tuesday.
No one but Noel Leeming.
The camera takes a picture as you approach. The image is then analysed and it tells you how much of a you look.
First up, James May in the Audi. Now the Merc.
I've not got a good feeling about this one.
Oh, he's broken the machine!
Brought to you by Wattle.
You are like a good-looking version of Richard Hammond.
The best of Top Gear. Tuesday, Prime.
Good evening. Well, they saved the best until last. The All Blacks put on the show the increasingly bored rugby public has been waiting for this morning. They scored 5 tries to beat France, take back the Dave Gallagher Trophy and finish a tough test season on a high. There was a sense of occasion in Marseille, which will be Europe's cultural capital in 2013. The French have only lost once at Stade Velodrome, and after beating the world champion Springboks a few weeks ago in Paris, their fans were expecting a win against Richie McCaw's men in white. What they might not have been expecting was plenty of tries. Yes, the things that have gone missing from rugby this season.
Now Sivivatu, and he gets through. Sivivatu scores the opening try of the test match.
Both teams decided it was time to end the monotonous kick and chase game, so successfully pioneered by the Boks and the Tri-Nations. But while the All Blacks defences didn't concede a try, the French couldn't contain the New Zealand attacks.
Feeds it off to Muliaina. The All Blacks fancy a counter-attack here. Conrad Smith again glides into the gap. Off goes Sivivatu using good speed. Sivivatu's got some support. Gives it off to Muliaina. And the fullback is in his 82nd test match.
Muliaina, now the most capped back in All Blacks history, and his backline cohorts, had found the je ne sais quoi that had been missing. After some early wobbles, the scrum was strong too, and it allowed Jerome Kano to force the ball for the 3rd try.
Ball loose, chance of a try, yes!
Dan Carter was at his very best with the boot and ball in hand.
Now here's Carter opening up, puts the little kick in, looking to recover, does so, slips it to Muliaina. Needs somebody else in support, finds Reid. Oh, McCaw's tripped over.
Corey Jane showed why he won the right wing spot.
Flat pass goes to Corey Jane, puts the foot down. Jane still going, kick and chase. All Blacks, they must score, and they do score. Corey Jane.
And Conrad Smith capped another impressive all-round game by sneaking away for the final try in a 39-12 win. The horror Tri-Nations not forgotten, but certainly put to the back of the mind, because the reshuffled coaching setup appears to have made a difference.
Tonight was about attack, you know. I've got to give my old mate Steve a pat on the back, because he's the attack coach, and that was outstanding. It was great rugby, joy to watch, and your defence comes off the back of that. You know, if you're playing footy like that, then you're always up in defence as well.
With the Dave Gallagher Trophy back in the cabinet, the All Blacks have just next week's festival game against the Barbars at Twickenham to go before a summer break.